Namaste. In this session, we will learn about pipelines and why it is very important. Really. So we'll look at how pipelines and column transformers are almost always used in conjunction with each other and demonstrate how we can make our data science life a lot easier by using pipelines. So now we'll see a practical demonstration on a Jupyter notebook. So now I have read in the dataset with NA values is equal to question mark, which basically mean that wherever there is a question mark in this dataset, that is a NaN value. So we will assign it to a np.nan value. Okay. So now if I check how many missing values are there in my dataset, I have missing values in 3 columns. So I'll just get rid of those rows which have missing values to make our demonstration easier. Now don't worry, in the next lecture, we will look at an example where we have missing values and we will use pipelines and column transformers to handle such missing value cases. Okay. So just to make the learning curve a little easier, we will exclude any missing values in this example. So now if I check my shape, I have 32,561 rows. And now I'll simply just drop all those rows which are missing values. And now my shape reduces to 30,162, which is around 2,500 rows. So I have deleted 2,500 rows. If I check my df.isNA, I do not have any missing values now. Now if I check my df.columns, it tells me that a few columns have uh, a leading space in their column names. Okay, so which is not ideal actually. So we will get rid of those. So how will you do it? We will simply say df.columns.string.strip. So this strip will automatically strip all the leading and trailing white spaces wherever it finds one. So if I check my df.columns now, it tells me I have no trailing or leading white spaces anymore. Okay. So now I'll first split my data into training and testing set before proceeding towards any kind of data pre-processing work. Now, to demonstrate a simple example of a pipeline and where we can run into trouble, I'll just first import pipeline class from the pipeline module of scikit-learn. So I'll say from sklearn.pipeline import pipeline, but I will not import it here. I'll just keep this here just for sanity purposes. Okay, from sklearn, my bad. Okay, so after importing pipeline, I'll now create an object called p of this pipeline class. So now this pipeline class is expecting from us a list of tuples. So when I say a list, that means one list. So I'll pass in a list with the two square brackets. And now it is expecting tuples, right? Similar to what a column transformer was expecting from us. So in contrast to a column transformer, which required 3 elements in each tuple, pipeline requires only 2 elements in each tuple. Okay, the first element is the step. So I'll first name it step 1, and the second one is the estimator or the transformer. So my transformer, for example, if I say I want to apply a robust scalar, okay, so I can do this, but I cannot supply the column names here. That is because pipeline doesn't support it. Pipeline, what it is meant to do is it will basically uh, simply apply this robust killer on all the columns of my X train. For example, if I do p dot fit X train, so if I execute this, it will go into this X train data frame and then apply robust killer on all the columns. But we know that it will not work. I'll just show you why. Okay, I need. So if I fit it, it will tell me a value error that it couldn't convert string to float or to private. That is because there were um, categorical columns in this dataset and it couldn't apply robust scalar on those columns. Okay, so now what do you think we should do here? If we want to apply robust scalar on only a few columns and not all the columns, and then we also want to apply one hot encoder on the other categorical columns. So what should we do according to you? Yes, we should use the column transformer here because a column transformer is specifically made for this purpose of applying different pre-processing steps to different sets of columns, one after the other. Okay, so I'll quickly just import from sklearn.compose import a column transformer, and I'll just keep this in the beginning of this notebook. Okay, so now I have imported column transformer, and now I'll quickly just make a column transformer object. Now it is also expecting a list of tuples, and the first, I mean, it is expecting as many tuples as we wanted to pass. Okay, so the first tuple, I'll name it step 1, and then first I want to apply robust scalar on which columns. For example, on the age, final weight, and for example also on the hours per week. So for these columns, for example, I want robust scalar. Then for step 2, I want, for example, standard scalar. I want to apply on the remaining 3 columns. And the third one is education num. So this is the third. Okay, so now I'm done with all my 6 numerical columns. Because if I check what are my numerical columns, I can say give me column for each column in xtrain dot columns if xtrain of call dot d types equal to o. So sorry, basically not equal to o for numerical columns. So I have these 6 columns. So I've segregated them. For example, just this is just for demonstration purposes, that how we can use a column transformer. These first 3, for example, I want to do robust scalar. For the next 3 numerical columns, I want standard scalar. Now for uh, my step 3, I want to apply one hot encoder on the categorical columns. So which are those columns? Now if I check my, so these are my num calls, right? So I'll just name it num calls. And now I similarly do one for the cat calls. So this is what our cat calls will look like, because I now specify double equal to object cat calls. So these are my categorical columns. Now I want to apply one hot encoder on these columns. So now just if you remember from the previous lecture, we noted that education and education naam are basically the same columns, because since the education column can be ordered in a ascending order, hence the dataset providers have first ordinally encoded this education column and provided us with numbers. For example, bachelor's was given number 13, 11th was given number 7, and if I check for others, if I check this, it tells me that bachelor's was number 13th, masters was given number 14, and then there was a number 15 as well somewhere down here. Prof school was number 15, and doctorate was given the highest number 16. Okay, so these two are basically conveying the same data. So we will exclude this education column from our cat calls. Okay, so now I'll remove this education column from here. And so now these are my remaining categorical columns, and I'll set remainder is equal to drop, which is actually by default, but I'll just mention it here. Now once I've created this column transformer object, now uh, as I just said, I want to apply custom scaling and custom encoding on different columns. So now here, instead of passing robust scalar here, I'll simply pass in this CT object here. Okay, so now when I fit my X train on this P object, it will go to this pipeline. It will check the first step. First step is CT. It will check for CT. It will find a column transformer, and it will apply these steps, and it will take the result back to this pipeline to go for the next second step. So this is how a pipeline works. Pipeline will sequentially apply one step after the other in the order that they were passed. Okay. So my step 1, I'll just rename this to, for example, call TF step. So this is my column transformer step, and I'm passing the column transformer here. So if I execute this now, and if I execute this now, you see now I don't have any errors, because this is correct now. Okay, when I fit my X train on this, it will go to the CT will go up, and it will apply all the transformations. Now if I just show what is happening behind the scenes. If I do a p dot transform of xtrain, this will return me the output. Okay, so this is working, right? This code is working, but this is not our desired output. What I want to do is I want to first apply a column transformer, and then my second step is to apply a machine learning model, because since now I have transformed all my variables, my second step should be to build a machine learning model. So my second step will be a model step, and here, since this is a classification problem where we are trying to predict whether the income of a particular person is less than 50k or greater than 50k, so this is a binary classification. So I'll import a decision tree classifier from sklearn.tree. Now I'm using decision tree classifier just for demonstration purposes. You can use any other classifier as well. So I'll now say here decision tree classifier. Okay, so now this is my new pipeline. The first step is the column transformer step, and the next step is my decision tree classifier step. So now this decision tree classifier also requires my Y train, right? So this, now I have to pass in a Y train as well, because this will be learning our data from the X train and Y train both. Now, just so you know, this Y train, this will be automatically ignored when we are doing this column transformer step, because we are not using Y train here. So scikit-learn will automatically ignore this, but scikit-learn will use this Y train when we are building our machine learning model. Okay, so when I fit my model, now my model has been fit. Okay, successfully fit. So now I can simply do a predictions. So I can say a dot predict, and I can pass it xtest. So now this is predicting income category on the test set. So if I check what is my accuracy, so if I do a simple score on the xtest and pass in the true y test values, it tells me the accuracy is around 80%, which is not good, but this tutorial is just for showing you how we can use a pipeline. Okay, now for example, if I want to see in this column transformer object what were the one hot encoded columns, right? So how will we do that? So it is quite easy. So what we will do is I'll first go p dot named steps. Okay, so if I do, now this pipeline object has an attribute called named steps, and this will return us a dictionary with the keys as the names of the steps. Okay, so my first step was column transformer and the second one was model, and the values will be the object that we fit upon it. Okay, so now the second step will be p dot named steps. If for example I am looking for the one hot encoder, right? So I'll go to this column transformer step. So I can simply call it, because this is a dictionary, so I can call this column transformer step. Now once I have my column transformer step, now I know that this is a column transformer, so I need to first say on this column transformer transformers underscore. Okay, so now this column we have now entered into the column transformer. So to enter into a column transformer, we needed this dot transformers underscore attribute of this column transformer. So now if you are unfamiliar with how to check for attributes, you can come to this documentation and you can scroll down here. So if I scroll down, you see it is telling me these are the attributes, like transformers underscore, name transformers underscore, then sparse output. So these are the three attributes of column transformer. So I'm making use of the transformers underscore attribute. Okay, so now what is my next step? My next step is to go to this one hot encoder. So what tuple is this? So see, this is the first tuple, so this is index 0. Then step 2 is my first tuple, which is index 1. Then step 3 is my third tuple, which is index 2. Okay, so my index 2, so I'll go for index 2. So now I have my one hot encoder object here. Now in this tuple itself, this one hot encoder is the second element, right? Because first element is the step 3, second element is one hot encoder, and the third element is the column names. So I'll go for the number 1. So now I have the one hot encoder object. Now to enter into this object and see what are the feature names that it got for us, I can simply say get feature names. So now this will give us all the feature names that it calculated based upon the unique features that it found in each particular column. Okay, so this is how we can navigate from a pipeline to column transformer and get whatever output we want. Now, for example, if I want to see the median values for all the robust scaled columns, just pause this video and try it yourself. The task is to find the median values for these robust scaled columns. Okay, so we'll do it now. What I can say is I can say p dot name transformer named step is my first step. Then my second step is to go to this call tf step. Okay, so I'll say go to call tf. Then my next step is to go to robust scaler. So first I need to enter into this column transformer. So I'll say dot transformers underscore. So I now entered into the column transformer. Now I want to enter into the zeroth step, right? So zeroth step is my robust scaler. Now robust scalar element, this object is my second element. So I'll go to number 1. I have robust scalar now. Now simply I can say dot center underscore. So this will give me all the median values for the age and the other two columns, which were age, final weight and hours per week. Okay, so these are the median values for those three columns. So you see how easy it is to navigate to any particular column, any particular value that we want. So it takes a little bit of time in the beginning, don't worry about it. But once you have your hold over it, it will be very easy for you. Now you must be wondering, what is the use of this pipeline, right? Because we haven't done any astronomical thing with this pipeline yet. But the thing is, if I check in this decision tree classifier, the criterion by default is Gini, the splitter is best, max depth is none, and there are so many features which are set by default. Now, for example, if I want to check my model accuracy for criterion is equal to Gini and max depth is equal to 5, and then from criterion is equal to entropy, for example, and then max depth is equal to 7, and then for example splitter is equal to random and max depth is equal to 9. So see, the possibilities are endless, and hence here, in a future tutorial we will look at grid search CV, where we will pass in a dictionary telling scikit-learn that I want my max depth to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then splitter to be Gini and entropy, and then it will calculate the model accuracy for each of those combinations and then return us the best score and best parameters. Okay, so don't worry about grid search CV. It is a very interesting topic, very easy one also. So just take it for granted that you need to learn how to use a pipeline, because this is very important for your machine learning workflow. Just so you know, the convention is we have to pass in the transformer objects one after the other. Okay, and then a final step should be a decision tree classifier or any other estimator, right, for a machine learning model. So I cannot say first do a decision tree classifier and then uh, transform using the column transformer, because it is applying one step at a time. So one after the other, it is coming down and down. So our final step should be an estimator, or otherwise if we do not want to specify, if we do not want to build a model just yet, we can just comment this out, and we can apply as many transformations as we want. For example, if I want to say here apply min max scalar on this entire data frame now, because now I have after the CT step all my values are numerical values, right? Because for one hot encoder also all my values will be zeros and ones. So my entire data frame is now a numerical data frame. So I can say min max. So I can go berserk with all of these possibilities. So I can say apply min max scalar, and now this min max scalar will be applied onto the entire data frame. So if I execute this, now you see I did not need the model of as my final step. So if I now fit my X train Y train, this Y train will be ignored because Y train has no use here. Now I cannot say p dot predict because predict is for is when I have an estimate as the final object. So I'll have to call p dot transform and transform this xtrain object. So now I have this transformed one where all numbers are between 0 and 1. So this is how we can use a pipeline in two ways. Either we can have the final step as an estimator, or we can not have an estimator step at all. Okay. And we have also looked at how we can navigate through different steps to reach our desired result. That is also very easy. So if you have any doubts regarding this, then please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to assist you in whatever capacity possible. So thank you for watching.